Blog Talk Radio.
Romey Mak. Romey Mak.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Romey Mak's 2 Cents, where we talk about any and everything, and we give our 2 cents. Today's show, we're going to cover the Philando Castile situation, the acquittal of the officer that killed, Philando Castile in cold blood. And what else we want to talk about? Kaepernick's still not on the team, and a little bit on the Cosby mistrial. And also, like, what the hell is happening in London? You know what I mean? Like, why are they just constantly under attack? And I want to also touch on Keyshawn Johnson, the ex-wide receiver for the NFL, taking his son off the team for being busted with weed in college. So, I mean, I think that's a pretty good parenting maneuver that he did. But we'll discuss more into that. Title of the show, today's show, is called Rights or Not Pie. Now, some of you may be wondering what the hell that even means, but it was an interesting analogy that I heard from a good friend of mine. They explained it to me. It's like equal rights does not mean lesser rights, So it's like, if let's say, as far as like how things are in America, where blacks don't have the same, it doesn't appear to have the same rights as as whites. At times, so it's like, but if you give the same rights to black people, it's not going to take any. It doesn't take any rights away from white people. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's not like a pie in a sense where you give somebody a piece of pie, that you have less of what you had before. You know what I'm saying? But I want to introduce my man back to the show, d-schnaks, man. What's happening, bro?
Hey, what's going on?
Ain't shit, man. Got the situation, that we heard, the most recently about this Philando Castile. I hope I'm pronouncing the man's name right, but yeah, bro, it's a trip. It's a trip, man. This whole scenario. We talked about it yesterday through text. As far as how we feel on the situation, bro. But like, we got video now. You know what I'm saying? Dash cam and everything, and somehow this police officer still comes out, acquitted of all charges, and it's just another brother gone, and it's definitely discouraging, being a black male in America, as far as like the way we're being treated and slaughtered at the hands of law enforcement who are there to protect us, supposedly. And make the right call and make the right decisions more so than we would ever do, as just a regular citizen, man. But really just want to touch on that and just see, if we get you to express your feelings on this whole scenario, man. It's like I said, it's frustrating, bro. But yeah, what are your thoughts, man, on this Philando Castile situation in Minnesota?
Man, I think it's a shame. It's very sad that somebody could watch a video like that and somehow still believe that the cop wasn't wrong. I mean, when I look at it, I can't even find a reason why he would shoot that man other than the fact that he was black. The guy was polite. The guy followed everything he said. He was trying to let him know. I mean, you have to put yourself in that position. That guy didn't do anything wrong and did exactly what the officer said, and he still met that fate.
Right.
You're right. And I don't know what more you.
I mean, what else can we do?
Exactly.
Like what else are we supposed to do now? I told you I had my license. I told you I got the license to carry. My little girl's in the back. My girlfriend's right here next to me, man. And I'm reaching for my license, and you fire off. You told me to threaten.
Yeah.
Yeah. You felt threatened? No, that was targeting, man.
Right.
I have to.
Right.
Yeah,
it is
go
targeting,
ahead.
and then the officer doesn't even care that the fact that there's a woman recording him. And to me, that also scares me too. Because now they're saying that, hell, we don't care who sees it. We'll blatantly do it. Man, that is on film. He's being recorded, and he has no care in the world.
Yeah, man.
To me, it was almost like a guy who was trigger happy. He wanted to shoot a black guy.
I saw a video of the of the girlfriend being handcuffed next to her 4-year-old, man. Like, what the hell, bro?
And all this was stopped because of a broken tail light. Yeah,
exactly, man. Like, I don't even I've been fortunate enough, when I've been pulled over here in the state of Florida, man, I've never had, obviously any of these situations come up. I remember one time I got pulled over for driving too slow on the turnpike, and I pulled off to the side, and like the cop gets out and he has his gun drawn. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just like, because he's looking at my tents for one. But this is like in my old car that I had. I had a Kia Spectra, Priscilla by the name, was her name. But he's pulling up to, he's coming up like, he got his gun, drawn, like he doesn't know what's gonna happen. I'm like, Lord, please don't let this dude shoot me, man. So I told him, I let him know it was military. What the funny part is, I didn't have my license on me that day. I just got it in the mail. I think I just got my license done. Like you got to renew it or whatever. I just got my Florida license done, and he let me go. He let me go, man. But because of the military, he's like, he had a real country accent. He's like, well, I appreciate you're fighting for my family, but you're gonna have to. We're gonna have to put you in the system. But as far as like me not having my license, I'm fine with that, man. He thought I was like drunk driving or high or somehow impaired to where I was unable to drive the car. You know what I'm saying? But I was, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was just on the phone. I was on the phone with my girlfriend at the time. That was it, man. So this is 2008, man. I was on the phone, on the phone with my girl, and just so happened I see blue lights just pop up behind me. I'm like, oh man, all right, let me pull over. And that's when that situation happened. But it definitely could have been worse. Considering these situations that we hear about, where guys don't even have their license, so or they're reaching for the license and then he fires off. This guy had his gun drawn, dude. Like, for real. Like, I was like, oh shit, this man he's got his gun out, and these before these stories were even like so heavily being put on the news. Not to say that they weren't being done, but this is like, so you don't really have that state of mind, that sense of fear. Other than, the stuff we've seen before with like Rodney King situation or, but, it's interesting, bro. It's interesting how those things transpire, bro. I guess there also was an acquittal for an officer in Wisconsin, man. I really gonna look that one up. Police acquittal for this. I guess an officer killed somebody in Wisconsin and he just got off as well. But I think this is a black officer that did this. Not to say that it matters. About white cops shooting black cops. White cops shooting black people as well as black cops shooting, black people, man. Police officer acquitted in Wisconsin. Let's see. Exactly. That was. We'll read on that subject, man. But other than that, man, how's the week going, bro?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Yeah, okay. As I just got this ex-cop acquitted in Milwaukee shooting that sparked protest. Yeah, let me read on this shit. Basically, juries found Dominique, what the fuck is his name? Hagen Brown, who was also black, justified when he shot a 23-year-old Seville Smith after a brief foot chase following a traffic stop. Smith had a gun when he ran, but the case hinged on whether he was a threat when Hagen fired the shot that killed him. Body cam video shows Hagen Brown shooting Smith once in the arm as he appeared to be throwing the gun over a fence. the video showed second shot 1.69 seconds later hit Smith in the chest as he laid on the ground. So, you know, these are the things that are happening in America. And somehow we're just supposed to deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't know the next step, what to do in the sense. I mean, I've been pulled over in Virginia. I got pulled over in Emporia, and I was speeding. And you know how it is in Emporia. Anything over what that speed limit says is a ticket. Ain't no questions asked.
Right.
And I was 13 over, bro. I was going 73 in the 60. So, you know, it was like, man, you didn't even slow down when you saw me. And so I was like, I didn't see you. You know? Like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I didn't see you. You know, I mean, he's like, 2 more, and I could have got you for reckless driving. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. But, you know, I got a ticket that day. It was like $150 or something like that. But I knew, like, from then on, I ride with cruise control whenever I ride in Emporia. I mean, it could have been a situation where I could have been a CNN headline, and, you know, just remain calm and cool with the cops, and everything went as went as planned. But I don't know, man. We got to come, collectively. You know, America's got to do something about this. You know what I'm saying? I saw this video, bro. I think I posted it on Facebook of this redneck man. He was just talking about, realizing the struggle that his people, being, you know, white people, how they treat blacks in America. You know what I'm saying? And so it was very interesting. You know, like his perception and, you know, the way he I'm not gonna say he understands what it's like to be black, but he definitely mentioned how prejudiced and, you know, like how some white people can be towards us, and like you just have to, you know, tell us basically not to ignore the racism that we see and actually do something about it, as far as talking to other white people. So that was pretty cool, man. You know, to see, you know,
right,
the videos like that, and hopefully it goes viral and hopefully someone listens. I don't know if it's it could be a fear of power. You know, like you feel like
right.
if we are to get the same rights as you, that it's a power struggle, when really we'll just be the same. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, you're in fear, you fear what you don't understand. So they can use that bullshit, you know, at any time for when, you know, at these traffic stops or anytime you pull over a black guy and he just seemed like menacing or whatever, and that's why I had to shoot him. There's no gun anywhere. Oh, there was cocaine found in the system. Yeah, you know, there's cocaine on him. Yeah, sure. He's just driving around with cocaine in the system. That's exactly what he was doing. But I digress, man. I wasn't sure if you had seen it, bro, but if you wanted to touch on it.
No, I haven't seen that one, man. Of course, I've seen the Castillo one because that was a big one. Hell, even when that one happened, I thought for sure this would be the first cop for sure that they would get, you know, for being wrong and killing somebody. And, man, when he got off, I couldn't believe it. But unfortunately, I didn't get to see the other one, man. And it's sad that it's becoming our norm. You know what I mean? Like, we're starting to see this more often. Yeah, and it's becoming more acceptable. Think about it, man. This guy got off for legitimately shooting a black guy, and the only thing he had in his power was he was an officer of the law. That's what he was. He was an officer of the law, and he displayed poor judgment in putting the law in his hand. And this guy is able to get off, because then they fired him as a cop. I want to say the Minnesota department fired him.
Yeah, that's how it.
But yet there's no charges. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's so funny because if you think about last year around this time when the situation happened, you know, you had that situation pop. You know, we had the one situation with the guy in Louisiana with the CDs or whatever at the store, and they choked him out, and he said gun, and then they fired him. You know what I mean? Louisiana's a place where you can legally carry a gun, though, just as much as Minnesota's a place where you can legally carry a gun. It's very interesting that the NRA was very quiet about this scenario, you know, for him being a legal gun owner. Isn't that what you fight for? It's exactly what you what you do all this protection for, but you quiet as shit. It's very interesting. Troll's that I guess that comedian that does the Daily Show, Trevor whatever. He had a very nice monologue about the NRA and them being very quiet about this scenario. And so we had those two incidents happen, and then in Dallas there was a shooting. And they shot cops. They got the black guy.
Right.
They claimed
I remember.
ex-military.
Yeah.
And he shot cops, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we need to come together, and why do we need to come together when cops get shot? We need to come together when we get shot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let's put it like this. Well, this is my thing. When we innocently get shot, man. You know what I mean? Like, bro, that guy did nothing wrong, and that's what bothers me the most. He did nothing wrong. He followed every instruction, man. And he still met a fate that he did not deserve. Yeah,
it's rough, man. I mean, I don't mean any harm for anybody that's been affected by this, but thankfully nobody that we know have. It affects one of us. It affects all of us. But fortunately, none of us have been in that position where it's directly affected us. Somebody within, our family or somebody we went to school with dealing with some cop shit like this, man. Because this is just that's just unacceptable, way of life. And then, this whole thing again, whenever a black guy or a brown person gets shot, it's just another headline. But a member of Congress gets shot at a baseball practice in the morning. And again, we need to come together and all this shit. And they're saying that the baseball game will still continue. We didn't even know about that fucking baseball game until the dude got shot. What the fuck are you talking about? And then Trump he went to go see the guy in the hospital. Where are you speaking on these black people getting shot, man?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What, the police were just doing their job? Is that the story we're gonna go with? Police were just doing their job. Okay, cool. Hopefully that works for somebody. But whatever, man. I digress. I'll say that again. I digress, man. It's just very funny to me. I know there's a lot of dog lovers out there, man. But like I saw recently that this guy, I believe I saw a story earlier this week where this guy shot a dog, and I think they gave him it gave him 20 some years for that. They gave a guy, so the dogs have more justice in America than blacks do. Blacks and browns, so minorities, technically.
Right.
That's just, I just find that very interesting, man. That's nothing against those that love dogs, love your animal, all of that shit. But why is it that a dog has more rights than a human in America? It's just something I want people to think about, It's insane, man. What else we got going? Yo, what the hell is happening in London, man? Like London, since roughly the end of May when they had the Manchester shooting, which isn't too far from London, they've just been in the news, man, for a lot of terrorist activity, So it's I don't know what the hell is happening, man. But
I don't either.
I don't know if it was like a premonition with the movie London Has Fallen. Hollywood sometimes will do shit like that. Almost like foretelling what's going to happen in the future with that, because it's some wild stuff, and that's not obviously don't hold on to what I say as far as that being the actual truth of them Hollywood making movies that are telling the future. That's just my theory, my conspiracy theory on that. But London just seems to be really in the news lately. I don't know if I wonder if their security is if their security is taking a blow or something like that, man, because they definitely could use some help trying to get control of all of this.
I agree.
It's incredible, man. And then anytime there's an incident that happens with the word terror, it's always ISIS that comes out and tries to claim shit, man. Like, it's not even funny that people are actually dying, but damn, dude, anything can happen. And on CNN, there were 3 men, three service members shot over in Iraq. ISIS claims it. You know, it's like, you know, there's a bombing at a mall in Africa. ISIS claims it. It's anything that comes. I'm like, well, how is it that they this damn powerful? Really?
Right.
Are they that much of a threat? Is my question. You know,
I kind of think they're just putting everything on them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it adds to their reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
right, exactly. Yeah.
I'll give them. They'll add to the influence of people's mind or something like that. But I don't think you're that. You know, if we got all this intelligence and we're this powerful as a nation and all this shit, where we go into all these countries and invade, and then we take over and we don't leave. I'm pretty sure that ISIS can be got. You know what I mean? And it's just a matter of time. But you know, it's I don't know. I'm definitely, you know, send prayers out to London, man. Like, hopefully, you know, they can get a handle. Their intelligence, you know, the British, you know, the UK intelligence can get a handle on these things and try to prevent other stuff from happening, man. Because like, they just had that issue with the Brussels thing the other day. It's just, you know, it's just so much happening, like right there right now. It's like a big headline for it, man. You know, and it's like we want to look out for other folks, man, but we also, you know, roughly we gotta look out for us too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it just makes you wonder how we can be there for other countries. But you know, again, we have situations where folks are being killed by law enforcement. You know, the way that they are, and a lot of innocent killings. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, story out here down in Miami, man. I guess this guy was a star. I mean, one of those star athletes. He was supposed to be going to, I think, some school out in California for college, man, on a full ride. And he was, I guess it was like a, what's that shit? Craigslist, either a Craigslist or a Facebook, you know, meeting or something, like for some kind of product. And man, he was shot in the head, dude. Like, it was wild, man.
He was what?
He was shot. I believe he was
what
shot in the head. He was shot in the head, man.
Really?
He's 19 years old, bro. Yeah.
Dang.
You can read the story on WS. You know, what is it down here? Channel 7 WSBN. You know, you can Google that, and you know, anyone listening to the show can read that, man. It's a sad story because, you know, this guy had his whole life ahead of him. 19 years old, just graduated. And, you know, it's going to have a full ride just to play football. And, you know, it's just sad how these situations, you know, occur so frequently in our society. But, like I said, prayers for his family, prayers for London. Speaking of football, I want to get into, you know, this whole Keyshawn Johnson thing, bro. I want to say that was like a proud parent reading a story about that. Apparently, you know, Keyshawn Johnson's son, I forget his kid's name, but you know, he was busted with weed in his dorm room, and Keyshawn Johnson took him off the team, man, for 6 months, dude. Like, if he's he's all for his kids playing football, he's all for his kids playing football, but you know, if they're not gonna follow the rules, then they got to, you know, like, they're not above the law. You know, basically what that teaches, man. So that's pretty good, bro. You know, I mean, it's not like he's it's not like he's hurting for you know, success anyway, because I mean, his dad is Keyshawn Johnson. So I mean, take your 6 months, you deal with it, and you get back out there. You know, I think you should still you'll have to just probably re-earn a spot on the team, and that'll be what it is. But let me ask you, man. I mean, what is your theory on that? Like, and say if that was your son. You know, and busted with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me personally, you got to give Keyshawn Johnson a round of applause, man. It takes a lot to pull your son out of anything that you know that he loves, but as a father, you have to be the disciplinarian. You know what I mean? You have to keep your child in line, because if you don't, we see what the law will do with them. You know what I mean? So you as a parent, you really want to keep your kid on a straight and narrow. So for me, it's nothing but respect and kudos to him. And like I said, it takes a lot of anybody to do that. So even in my thing, I would love to keep my kids in general away from drugs, period. And if they were to mess with them, there will be consequences. And in this case, I'm with his consequence, and I'm not sure I wouldn't have done the same thing, man. Because they got to learn, man. This is a great age to make sure they understand it. And let them know, man. I mean, again, man, there's going to always be rules, man. Rules, laws, always. From day one to the day you leave this world.
You are not above the law. You are not above the law. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that just has to be, you know, it has to set in your mind as an athlete. You know, I mean, granted, we grew up in a town that roughly looked out for its athletes too, and it didn't necessarily prepare them for life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and they were treated, you know, like players would just come to school only during basketball season, and then after basketball season, you no longer see them around school. Like, I don't understand this type of shit. Like, are you trying to get them out of this city, or are you trying to get, you know, I don't know, whatever. Like, I don't know what happens for the school if we win, you know, nationals or anything like that. I don't know what type of, you know, income that may bring, or whatever benefit that is. You know, I just don't feel like it helps, you know, like the kids out, you know, by allowing them to just say, hey, all I got to do is play sports, and I don't have to learn how to read, you know, because, you know, they get to a point, as let's just say they do make it through high school, then they go to college, and they have that same mindset. And then, you know, the coach in college, and maybe he lets them through with the same thing. And then they go to the pros, and then they have to do interviews, and they sound like Floyd Mayweather when they do, you know, interviews and shit like that. Nothing against Money Mayweather. Much respect to his hustle and all that shit, but he ain't the best talker in the world. Neither is Beyonce and Beehive. Y'all can come for me all you want, but you listen to Beyonce talk, it's not the greatest. You know, it's not the greatest, but it is what it is, you know. I really like that parenting tactic that he did, bro. I think it's going to have lasting effect on his son and the way that he carries himself going forward. Because I bet he was like shocked as shit when it happened. Like, damn, Pop, you really took me off the team? Man, like, just like, you don't believe it. Like, are you serious, man? You really gonna take me off the team for this shit? But
exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do, man. You know, in that scenario. I mean, I remember ninth grade, I got yanked from my AAU team because of my grades. So I mean, I totally get it. You know, I was in a bad headspace. Was not focused on school whatsoever. I was more so worried about chasing around my little girlfriend at the time, man. Girl crazy like a motherfucker. Like that was my high school, I don't want to say my ninth grade mindset, but you know, it is what it is, bro. What else do we have? Kaepernick still don't have a job, bro. You know, and you know what that boils down to. I had a conversation with a friend earlier about it. It's like, you know, what team owner is willing to take on that type of responsibility to the press? You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it means. Like, you're asking what the risk is. Is the risk greater than, you know, is the talent? I would say the risk of signing this guy greater than, you know, his. What I'm trying to say, like, is his talent greater than the risk? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it worth? Say, I mean, we both been watching the Kaepernick play the last few years, man, and it's definitely been lackluster. So, but with that being said, there's also other backup quarterbacks who are, you know, who are definitely not better than Kaepernick getting deals. So, I mean, it just makes you, you know, the counters the argument with that. But what do you foresee happening, man? I honestly don't know if he's going to be getting signed to a team anytime soon. But what about you, Snacks?
Man, you know, I've played with this conversation very many times, and just like you, I've talked to different people, and you hear different responses. But I hate the fact that the last thing this man is known for, when other people talk about him, is kneeling. But like I always tell people, let's express why he did what he did. Like, he was trying to shed light on the same thing we're talking about right now. Right. You know what I mean? Cop killing blacks, man. Like, to me, it bothers me more that we continue to talk about a man who kneeled and not talk about why he did it, when the reason he did it is still going on to this very moment. We're watching people get acquitted of guys that are not demonstrating the law correctly. And that's what bothers me more than anything. Like, we continue to tell people that they have freedom of speech, but yet when they do it and it doesn't fit the way you feel it should be, then it's a bad thing. Listen,
of course.
man, listen. Yeah, and that's what bothers me more than anything. Here we are talking about a man who really took a very, very positive stance, man, for something he felt. He was trying to put attention to it, and because he did it this way, now he's a bad guy, terrible. And in hell, man, we were just talking about how great of a quarterback this guy was.
In 2012, In 2012, he was great, But
it was great. So
he was a hybrid player. He's, because for our listeners that aren't really sports fans, they understand he's a hybrid player. It's like he brought something new. Well, I wouldn't say new to the game because we've had Randall Cunningham, Michael Vicks, and all that stuff. Yeah. But his talent was like it was hard to strategize against each game. So he was able to shine on that for that given moment. But you give a football staff about a year, that, man, you coach and stuff like that. Yeah. So you give a football staff a year, to see how things, to see how this guy plays. You're gonna find a way to stop it. Like, look at the Wildcat offense. You know what I'm saying? The Wildcat offense that Miami pulled, man. This shit was great for that year. And then after that, they stopped. Everyone stopped using that shit, and it was, they're like as much. I won't say it's not being used. But, so Kaepernick had his shine basically from like 2011 to 2012 with Jim Harbaugh as his coach. Because Harbaugh knew how to work with him. But now you have him in a position where, he's definitely, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have that great of a relationship with the current coach. We got a new coach now or whatever. But before Shanahan got there, having an issue with the current coach, and you're not implementing your skill level as you probably should have, as you did in the 2011-2012 season. So now you're in a position where it looks like you're doing this for attention, and then you do this stance, and obviously you got your foundations and stuff that you do, but then you come out most recently and saying that you're going to not protest anymore. But you said you would stop protesting when you saw a change in America. I don't see change. Right. So now I don't either. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it looks like, okay, now I'm just doing it to get a job or whatever and shit like that. So it's, it takes strength away from, your stance with it. And now, so I'll ask you, bro, like, you think if, let's just say LeBron James, and he's still in his prime, you know what I mean? If LeBron James decided to be like, you know what, I'm gonna take a stand and I'm gonna kneel or whatever, like, while I'm gonna sit down during the national anthem when they play it in Quicken Loans Arena, do you feel like he would have the same backlash?
I think he would have the same criticism.
Right.
But would he be in jeopardy of losing his job? Absolutely not.
Right, because he's a viable asset right now.
Right, yeah. I think that when you take, let's just say the example, LeBron as the example, he is a big enough star and he brings so much revenue to Cleveland. Remember, when he left Cleveland, 25% of their revenue dropped. The thing is, you hit it on the head. We need a star like that to take a stance, because they won't be able to touch a star like that.
Exactly.
Kaepernick left himself open, and Kaepernick asked to be released. See, Kaepernick did a lot of things that I totally don't agree with on the contract side of his business. Like, I wouldn't have gave these guys no deal. I wouldn't have told them that you can pay me less and I'll be a free agent next year. I would have kept myself under contract with them guys for 2 years. See, Kaepernick did some of that stuff thinking, hey, I'll get out and I'll be signed. And this is really the way these people get back at you. Because remember now, if I'm not mistaken, all the owners in NFL majority are white.
Of course.
Right. So what are you saying? Like I'm not the first guy, and I hate to yell racist on everything, but man, when it sound like a duck, it walk like a duck. Hell, man, let's be honest, it probably is a duck.
Yeah.
So my theory is, I try not to call those cars or bring those cars to play, but man, if it's there, it's got to be said, and that's what it's looking like on Kaepernick's end.
What I see is it's hiding right out in front of us. Basically, you can entertain us, you can slam dunk all you want, you can run you can get as many rushing touchdowns, catch as many touchdowns as you want, but as soon as you start speaking out about unfair treatment for the minority groups in America, I got to shut you down.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like it's modern day slavery. I mean, granted, they get paid very well. Don't get me wrong, they get paid very well, but
but that's a small percentage of African Americans.
Exactly.
That's not even 1% of African Americans.
You're not in the NFL for a very long time, unless you're like a Tom Brady. That's golden boy status where you luck into getting an offensive line that keeps you from getting hurt. But most people that go to the NFL, man, they're not there. They're like, where the hell is Willie Parker? You're doing a Steelers fan. When the last time you heard Willie Parker name? You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
Career is so short. Like Coach Herm Edwards always talks about that, man. Like, football runs, very fast, man. So you got to think long term. Like after that, what you're gonna do with your life, man. And it's dude, and they're not being trained. They're not being trained for life after football, And like, who's winning in that situation? You know what I'm saying? The owner's gonna have a job until he dies. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like what Rooney was owner of the Steelers for the longest. You know what I'm saying? All these players that played for him played for a couple of years, and then a lot of them found themselves in situations where they might even been broke, in poverty again.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, well, what are we doing here? Do we care about people or do we care about money?
Yeah.
Let
me answer that for you. They care about money.
The business comes before anybody else.
Oh yeah.
The business comes before anybody else. And they can say, oh, it's a racism thing. No, it's business. The color green is all that matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's all that matters. Now, to law enforcement, black might matter. You know what I'm saying? Like when they see black, you pull them over, that matters. But like as far as when they're dealing with the sport aspect of it, it seems as if there's it just seems like green is the only thing that matters to them, man. Before we get out of here, man, the Cosby mistrial, bro. The jury was deadlocked, and they basically ends up showing finding Bill Cosby not guilty, dude. So I'm not gonna say I don't believe all of them. You know what I'm saying? But I just find it very very strange just to wait so long. And I get it. He's America's dad, and but he's still a black guy though. He's still a black guy, and and these are basically white women coming to say that this guy did this to him. So and this is like 1960s and 70s when some of these incidents were occurring, and that's I don't mean to say that not to believe what a woman says, because I don't want that to be what is taken from this statement, but more so that we know the society that we live in. That if a white woman were to say something about of this black celebrity or something like that, more than likely they're going to take especially like rape. We already, you believe a woman when you say rape, but, when you got that interracial thing, knowing that people, that just there's this level of ignorance where people just hate you for being black. And then when you mess with, when you do interracial things such as black and white, it definitely, some people, levels of ignorance heighten. So you have this situation go down, man. I just find it very troubling that they didn't come a lot sooner. You know what I'm saying? But for what, I mean, respect their reasons for not doing so. But I guess they couldn't find anything on this, and here we are. You know. No, but what's your take from all this stuff, man? With the mistrial, bro.
Man, my thing is, like you just said, as far as them, it's taking so long, and I don't want to play judge and jury because I don't know all the facts, but I'm with you. I'm not too sure all those women went through that.
Right.
I feel like once one starts coming out, it starts a chain reaction. Well, hell, I slept with him one time in 71.
Yeah.
Hell, I don't feel right either. You know what I mean? And I think that's always a bad thing. And I hate that such an icon has to go out on his last, to go out this way. Because, I mean, no offense, but Bill Cosby, he's not in the greatest shape anymore. He's not the guy we remember. He's not Dr. Huxtable. He's a lot older. Like I said, man, again, I don't know how much longer he's got, but he don't got much, and I hate the fact that at the end of his road, this is how he's going to end up going out. Instead of being, and don't get me wrong, if he committed a crime, I'm all, you got to be punished, man. We just talked about it. There are consequences for doing the wrong things, and there's always been rules and laws, and I get that too. It just, like I said, being an African American, growing up watching this guy, knowing who this guy was and how much he helped mold the guys that we know today, like the Kevin Harts and the Dave Chappelles, the people that,
one of the greatest storytellers of our time, man.
Exactly. So with all that said, man, the creator of Fat Album, with all that said, man, it is a tough thing to have to watch and see him go through it. But like I always tell people, and I'm not too sure about this judicial system, but, he did, like they said, because he's not acquitted yet. It was a mistrial, right? So he would go back through trial.
Right.
But, man, it's...
What the hell is he doing this tour for? He's going around talking to you, telling that you can be charged with rape for just about anything. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And that's right, and that's what I'm saying with when stuff like this hits you. This is what you turn to, man. This is what you end up doing. And some things you do stuff because society tells you it's the best thing to do. It's kind of like when somebody says something about somebody and then they come up and make a public apology. Stop it, man. You meant what you said. The people in your right and your left ear are now telling you you need to make a public apology. Because the truth is, you meant what you said. So to me, sometimes society kind of plays on how you been and what you do. No different than Kaepernick situation. Society and these white guys that all get together, these rich folks, all of them are looking at it as, oh no, we shouldn't give this guy a job. And all they're doing is following suit behind each other. That's really what they're doing, man. Yeah. Sticking
together and trying to blackball this guy from this league, and they're saying they're not. But you can't tell me that there's 30 teams in the NFL and there's two quarterbacks per team, and he's not one of the top 60 quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah. Yo, Ab, welcome to the show.
I don't mean to get off subject.
No, you good.
Sorry, I had to work really, really late. I just got off.
No, it's all good, Will. We'll touch on a few things before we wrap up. What did you think about the Castillo, there was Philando Castillo situation?
Oh man, so I didn't want to watch the other video. I guess they had of the little girl comforting her mom. That's kind of I don't know if I'm ready to watch that just yet.
Yeah, she was handcuffed.
Yes, and but I did watch the video from the police. I guess his dash cam, and so yeah, that's pretty. I don't know. Whoever, man, I'm kind of it just seems to be off that situation like this. People just get away with, and I hate it because everybody. This is why we don't trust the justice system. We don't trust the police. because, hell, they're not being held accountable for the stuff that they're doing.
Right.
So it's like, excuse my language, I'm hormonal right now, but what the fuck? You know, like, what's really good? You know, and people wonder why we are the way we are, and people are, you know, just, it's so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's sad. It's, you know, justice is not being served at all, period. And I'm not going to lie, from this, and so I'll just tell you what experience. So, back when I deployed last year, I'm not going to lie, I freaking cried my eyes. Never have I ever gotten emotional of a deployment. But the only reason why I did it is because I was worried about my husband getting arrested and shot at. You know, it's like, damn, am I going to come home to somebody, you know, to a funeral? And now people, as black people, that's what we got to think of every day. Is my brother one day driving around, if he don't get shot for driving for his wallet or something? You know, it's crazy. We should not have to, that's things that we should not even have to worry about. You know? Mm-hmm. And granted, yeah, on our way back home from Teck, me and my husband was driving, we got stopped in Dallas. And, man, I was scared shitless. I'm not going to lie. Because, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. You know, you don't know. So everybody's panicking. The cops don't know. And we tell you, we're military, right? We are told that you don't shoot at anybody unless they shoot at your ass. So in other words, even if somebody is reaching for their hands are going towards their guns, we cannot go and just start shooting at people. You know what I mean? They should be held to the same standards that we are when it comes to certain stuff like that. And I don't know. It's just stupid. And my thing is, if you're worried about your life, then you don't need to be a cop. Because that comes with the territory. You know what I mean? It's a dangerous job. You knew that before you got it. So while you're over here panicking and tripping out, thinking this guy grabbed a gun, you don't need to be doing that job. You don't.
Right. Exactly. Well, damn, I wish you could have called in obviously a little bit earlier, but you know, we pretty much. I'm glad you were able to, you know, to touch in on the key thing that you know, that we wanted to focus on. You know, Snacks was, you know, we've been talking about this whole, you know, the Kaepernick situation, and roughly how, you know, him standing up for, or sitting down rather, for these various situations that have occurred in our society towards black and brown people. And you know, it was real good conversation about that, man. I really want to thank Snacks for, you know, coming through, and obviously Ebony for you calling in as well, giving your thoughts on that. But yeah, before we get out of here, obviously we want to do give our you know, contact information. So Ebony, let them know where they can reach you.
And I think that was Twitter. Yeah, I don't really use my other ones too much anymore, so I ain't gonna worry about that one. But Chromebooker on Twitter. Right.
And Snacks, let them know where they can find you, bro.
Facebook, Darius Jordan.
Right. Okay.
That's all I got.
Yeah, and you know, obviously, you know, you can reach Romey Mak on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at ROMEY_MAK. But you know, we had a great topics. You know, we touched on today. A lot of very touchy situation that you know, that's been going on in our society for far too long. You know, it's just entirely too much. As D.L. Hewley would say, you know, his slogan is "It's too much," and it's just too much for us to deal with. You know what I mean? It's like we're tired of hearing the cops were just doing their job, and it's time somebody else outside of our community, you know, speaks up about this. You know, because it's not going to take look like us to stop this. It's going to take people outside of our community to look like the ones that are doing it to stop it. But you got to be willing to do that, though. You know, you got to first within you and be like, yo, this shit is wrong. What you're doing to these people. And hopefully that'll, you know, we'll get to a point with that. Until then, we'll be ready. And then we'll just say that. You know what I mean? Stay prepared and understand what we're dealing with. You know what's on the, I would say, the task before us. So, you know. Anyway, man, this is Romey Mak. I got d-schnaks. I got the Sugar Booger in the building. But we're gonna sign up out of here. And stay tuned for, you know, to the next episode, and just appreciate you guys listening. Again, we out of here. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Hi, you've reached the high fashion hotline.
Hi, my family's going to a picnic, but our clothes are stained.
That's quite a pickle.
Ketchup, actually. We want to look amazing.
Go to Old Navy.
Old Navy?
Yep, right now get up to 50% off all tees, all tanks, all shorts, and all dresses at Old Navy and OldNavy.com.
All up to 50% off?
Yes, get tees.